Hiya. I've got a few subscribers on the YouTube, which is good. I mean, not a million, you know, not even 20. But I like it. A few of the videos, they get like 25 views. And I think to myself, if 25 people are finding these stories funny or, you know, amusing, or, you know, fill 10 minutes of their day with them, that is just brilliant. You know, it's not a commercial YouTube channel, never will be. But, you know, 25 people, wow, that's great. You know, if we were all in a pub and you listen to a story for 10 minutes, that'd be something. So, you know, I love it. Thank you. I love you, specifically, all of you. So, I still post them directly to Facebook. But it takes forever. It takes forever to upload them. And it's a separate process. It's much easier to put them on the YouTube and then just put the link up. So, you know, go and have a look at it on the YouTube when I put the links up. If you can. Thank you. So, right, I'll just have a sip of my brew. I sit at top of the league. You expected me not to mention it? Like that was going to happen. We won 6-1 yesterday. Jeremy Doku, remember the name. Ridiculous. 4 assists and a goal. Anyway, I digress. So, one of the subscribers, because I've told you about Christian, who I knew in Calcutta, right? Another subscriber sent me a message who'd spent some time in Calcutta. At about the same time, our times overlapped, we just didn't know each other. It's called Adrian. And Adrian said something in his comment that was the inspiration for today's Lakewatch. All right, let's go to the lake. Do I need a catchphrase for that? Let's lake. I like that. That's quite macho, and it's like one of those extreme sports kind of channels, you know. Let's lake. So this morning we're filming from our house. I just thought I'm in the kayak, but this is, you know, normally the starter point, and I never think about filming from here. So this is where I lift off. Such a dramatic word for gently paddling away from our house. So, but it's a different perspective, you know. So yeah. So as I said in the intro, I was reminded of a place in Calcutta by someone who watched one of the videos, Adrian, and it turns out we were in Calcutta at the same time, but didn't really know each other. You know, our paths probably crossed at the Paragon Hotel or the Modern Lodge, which is the hotel I forgot to mention previously. Both identical hotels opposite each other on Sutter Street. Both smelled. Both were terrible. Both were really cheap. And so, yeah, one of the escapes that we'd occasionally, you know, you just get like Calcutta out. You know, it's just overwhelmingly Calcutta at you. So, you know, you have a bit of a splash out. And one of the best ways to do this was at the very nearby world famous Oberoi Grand Hotel, which was the most beautiful hotel. It's all built at the right time when such opulence was financially possible. Family owned for generations. So there was a consistency of attitude towards the customer, which I would say was, you know, perpetual obsequience. But they were good at it. You didn't feel like you know, anyone was ever sucking up to you. They were just really good at being servile. That all sounds awful, doesn't it? But, you know, there's a culture of service in any place, and especially so in hotels. And part of the feeling of being in an Oberoi hotel is that, you know, is that you really are treated as royalty. And so every now and then we could never stay there. No one could afford to stay there, you know. But they had a couple of bars in the nightclub. I got stories about the nightclub I might tell another time, but this story is about the Chowringi bar. So now, the Oberoi is on one of the biggest roads that go through the middle of Calcutta, designed as, I think, 8 lanes of traffic for either way. It varies depending on what time of the day it is to between 16 and 30 lanes of people who believe that the horn somehow makes a difference to the speed at which they're travelling in the most horrendous traffic. So it smells of diesel and petrol. It's perpetually packed. You could hardly move on it. It's a sweaty road, and yeah, just super busy. And the most magical thing happens, because, like I said, the Oberoi is actually on that road, is that the moment you go through the marble entrance, this kind of archway as I remember it, the moment you go through the entrance of the Oberoi, you can barely hear the traffic from this ridiculous cacophony to serene quiet as you walk through this kind of turning circle area of the Oberoi and approach the gigantic doors where somebody in a perfectly pressed uniform and gloves will open the door for you. Then you make your way to the Chowringi bar for happy hour. 2 for 1. Fantastic. You had to dress up to get in. That was the only thing. You couldn't turn up there with your backpacker gear on. You couldn't turn up there with your volunteer gear on, which is, you know, same as backpacker gear, your t-shirt and you know, cargo pants and Tevas. Everyone wore Tevas then. Do they still have them? Tevas, like sandals, but only, you know, cooler and fucking expensive. So, but you know, that was the uniform then. Everyone had Tevas on, but you had to have shoes on to get to the Oberoi. I had my Dr. Martin Squires with me, as well as my Tevas. So, you know, they're quite smart. And you put a shirt on, you know. Here's a tip for anyone going to India who's of a kind of normal size, not chubby like me. I wasn't chubby then. Don't take any clothes, just buy them all there. They cost nothing. Seriously, you can kit yourself out in everything on the market for the whole trip and then discard them or give them to charity. So anyway, we dress up and we go to the Oberoi Grand. And sometimes they had a capricious door policy, I think, that was largely based on some sort of backsheesh economy. If ever they said you could get in 100 rupees to somebody would deal with that scenario quite promptly. So we go a few times a week, really, and so we got to know the staff, and the guy who managed it really took a shine to me, and I think this is because he loved music, and I'd been known to jam with the band there of an evening. They had a kind of Filipino band, and I'd get up and play with them, and they loved that, you know. So, and his name was Chowdhury. Okay, now all people called Chowdhury in India have the nickname Chow. Okay, makes sense. Chowdhury, Chow. Everyone called him Chow. And it's a common Bengali name. So there were quite a lot of Chowdhurys, but he was Chow. And then I overheard that he was always referred to by the other staff as Senior Chow. Okay, so Senior Chow would be about mid-50s. There was a much older Chow, and I mean decrepit old Chow, who was called Junior Chow. And I just thought, you know, as everybody would, as you are now, why is the older guy called Junior Chow? So one day I decided to ask Senior Chow. I said, Senior Chow, you are Senior Chow. There is a gentleman who works here, who is clearly much older than you, but he is referred to as Junior Chow. Please explain. And he said, Mr. Trevor, this is quite simple. Junior Chow has only been with the Oberoi for 48 years. So Senior Chow was called Senior Chow, right? He didn't start work there when he was 7. You know, I said he was about 55. No, he was born there in the staff accommodation. And so the rank of senior or junior was based on how long you'd been with the Oberoi. And Senior Chow's parents had been with the Oberoi. And Junior Chow was some usurper who just turned up, you know, 50 years ago. And will forever be known as Junior Chow. And you get the logic though, right? I mean, a lot of things don't make sense in Calcutta. But as soon as I heard that, I thought, okay, fair point. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that one. I love that story, and I got loads more India stories, and I'm glad that Adrian kind of reminded me of the Oberoi. I'll probably one day tell you the story about how me and an engineer from Scotland got into a fight with the Calcutta men's rugby team. Yeah, and that's hilarious too. All right, I love you all. Bye.